Hey, I'm Josh Elledge, the Chief Executive Angel at SavingsAngel.com, and welcome to the Savings Angel Show. I'm podcasting to you from the city beautiful, Orlando, Florida. Now, I'm an extremely busy consumer expert, money-saving advocate, syndicated newspaper columnist, and the guy that turns digital entrepreneurs into media celebrities over at UpMyInfluence.com. I love what I do, and I can't wait to get going on today's episode. So in order to help you save more, earn more, and live more abundantly on today's show, I'm going to be covering 4 things you need to do now. That's right, it's May, and you really need to make some of these lifestyle action steps a priority because it really is going to fit in with the year. And again, if you're trying to move ahead financially and in other areas of your life, I've got some great suggestions for you. Number 2, we're going to talk about how investing in the stock market, that's not just for wolves of Wall Street. Thank you very much. It's for everybody. I have a really cool app that I've fallen in love with, and you can even play around, and you can get your kids doing this as well. It's kind of fun where they can actually invest in the stock market with or without money, depending on if you want to make some. So good talk about that. Also, we're going to talk about how to execute a Pantry challenge. This is something I think you're going to find is a lot of fun. It's going to be very rewarding, and it's going to help you live more abundantly. So with that, let's get going. Hey, before we get going on today's show, I want to let you know that if you know a business owner, please direct them to upmyinfluence.com/quiz. Why? Well, consumer behavior has changed quite a bit over the past 10 to 12 years. And a lot of it just has to do with the fact that there is just too much noise. As consumers, we're sick of being sold to, and business owners need to know this because unfortunately, I think a lot of business owners feel like they just need to come up with better and better ads. Well, that's not what consumers are asking for. And so I actually put together this free quiz that's going to help business owners kind of figure out what they need to do. So if you know a business owner that's, they're just trying to get the word out there, they're trying to grow their business, they'd like to expand, maybe it's a part-time business, they'd like to move into a full-time operation, maybe they're full-time, but they're expressing some frustration that they're not making the sales that they're hoping to. Well, again, it has to do with this dramatic shift that has taken place over the past, I say, especially 5 years with how consumers buy. And so I'm going to help those business owners completely free of charge. Please have them go to my free quiz. It's upmyinfluence.com/quiz. And then I'm actually going to give them a free masterclass. It's 4 videos, and it's basically just going to educate them on how consumer behavior has changed and what they need to do. And if they don't understand this massive shift in consumer behavior, they are going to be out of business. I have a very, very soft spot in my heart for business owners. I've been a small business owner for many years. And I've failed in business a number of times. I've failed in business, in fact, 6 times. And it wasn't until Savings Angel that I really, really succeeded. And I learned a lot of things. And I hope to impart that wisdom on your business owner friends. So once again, that URL is upmyinfluence.com/quiz. Take the free quiz and you'll get an invitation to attend my free masterclass. And that will really help our business owner friends live more abundantly. Now, with warmer weather here and lots of spring activities, it's tempting to put responsibilities off. But spring will fly by, so I'm here to help you get in gear with 4 things you need to do now. Number 1, you need to declutter. Begin decluttering and spring cleaning. Break up the tasks into smaller chunks to tackle throughout the next 4 to 6 weeks. Now, literally, I want you to schedule specific tasks and when you're going to accomplish them, just like you would calendar activities or appointments. By spreading out the work rather than trying to cram it all into one weekend, you're actually going to get it all accomplished. The trick is to be very specific about what you plan to accomplish and when, and then execute the plan. Now, let me give you a pro tip for this. I'm going to give you a couple of them here. For decluttering, I want you to divide your home into zones and tackle only one zone or room at a time. And you can spark your joy in that one zone at a time. Now, this avoids having the entire house in disarray for weeks. To do a thorough job, take everything, and I do mean everything, out of one closet or drawer at a time and go through it. Place back only the things you are keeping that belong there. Now, expert organizers advise that you only keep things that fall into one of two categories. Number one, it brings you joy. Number two, you actually use it. Not you might consider, I don't know, maybe using it one day, I don't know, in the future. Listen, anything that falls outside those two parameters should be sold, trashed, or donated. Going to get a little harsh with you because I want you to enjoy the beauty of simplicity. Pro tip number 2 for decluttering. Prepare well before you even begin. Okay, you should have everything you need to do the job at the ready. This includes any necessary cleaners as well as a spot to place every item you touch. For items you're keeping but need to be stored away, you should have a box or plastic lidded bin ready to receive them. A large trash bag should be ready to receive items that are not fit to donate or sell, and so forth. Now, having everything you need before starting will save time over not knowing where to set things or items simply piling up and condensing your space to work. Number 2, things you need to do. You need to plan a sale. You're going to plan a yard sale or other method to remove unwanted items from your possession. We actually just had our big neighborhood garage sale, and we got rid of a lot of things that had been just kind of sitting around. And it feels so good to be free of those things and know that they made it to a good home. You need to make a plan for all the things you're going to unearth during decluttering. You can donate them, take them to a consignment shop, or you can even sell things via online yard sales, such as Facebook groups or Craigslist. Now, whatever method you choose, pick a date to take action, set a date for your yard sale, for example, and schedule it just like any other commitment. Now, I've done entire shows. Matter of fact, you can scroll back through the years, 5+ years of this podcast. I've done entire episodes all about hacking yard sales. Here's my pro tip. Don't wait too long into the typical yard sale season to hold a sale, which means you need to get on it. You'll sell far more items if you hold your sale when people are itching to get out on a Saturday and look, which basically means you're going to need to do this in the month of May. Will the new tax laws affect the number of yard sales that we see this year? Now, the large increase in the standard deductions removed from tax advantage for many families who had previously simply donated their items. Okay, this yard sale season, we may see more families trying to sell items before donating, since fewer families will be itemizing their tax deductions for 2019. Now, I talked about this a couple months back, so go back and talk about the tax changes for 2019. Really, really important stuff to consider. Number 3, things you need to do, activities for kids. I want you to look into summer activities for the kiddos. Organizations and camps begin releasing information about their summer programs. Actually, they probably already have, as well as taking reservations they've been doing it in April, and they're probably going to do it through May, but I wouldn't wait too long. You don't want to wait to discover what's available this year and decide what things your family wants to participate in. You want to get that done now. Let me give you a pro tip. Many programs offer early bird pricing, which may or may not still be available. You could save money by deciding and signing up during these dates. Even if the pricing is all the same, knowing what your financial obligation will give you time to save and plan accordingly. Now, number 4, I'm a big fan of this one. Check your AC in your home and auto. Turn your units on and make sure they're still blowing well and the air gets cold if you haven't been doing that already. Those of us here in Florida, we've already been taking care of that. Now, if it's not working, something's not working, you need to schedule an appointment ASAP before the HVAC companies start getting really, really busy, before the auto care centers book up, because what will happen is they'll jack up their prices, possibly. I want you to avoid that. Now, for home systems, it's also time to change your filter if you haven't done that already. Now, listen, one thing, I'm going to give you a couple of pro tips here. I'll just tell you that some people, and don't do this, they try to prolong the life of air filters. That is a bad idea. Thinking, well, I don't want to have to replace it listen, if you're in Florida and you're just like running that sucker like pretty much nonstop, then you're just going to go through filters pretty quickly. And so you really need to inspect them. And as they start building up that residue on there, you just got to swap it out. Do some Google searching, watch some YouTube videos so you can visibly see the limit, like where you should be swapping these out. As soon as they start collecting all that residue, the effectiveness of your AC unit starts to go way, way down, and you're going to spend a lot of money. Running an AC unit is expensive. And so pro tip number one, another tip here, before repairing shops and HVAC companies get really busy, they often have early spring specials to kick off their season, which may or may not be available. If yours needs attention, you'll score a better deal and faster service that when it starts getting hotter in late May and June. Pro tip number two for checking your AC. If your AC system doesn't seem to be functioning properly, you may not need a repair appointment. Many reputable service companies have videos on YouTube demonstrating things you could check yourself before you pay a pro. So there you go. There are some action items, 4 action items I think you should do now. It's the beginning of May. Let's get this stuff done. I want you to live an abundant year and an abundant summer. Now, in podcast 245, I introduced you to Webull Financial. Webull was founded to level the trading field for all retail traders. That likely means you and me. Now, if you're not, again, Leonardo DiCaprio, you're not working on Wall Street, you're not watching CNET or Fox Business, 8 hours a day. Listen, that's not me. That's not how I play. What's cool about Webull Financial is it's for people like you and I. Their zero commission trading platform. It has free granular market data. And you may not know what that means. I kind of don't know what that means either. But what it means is it's going to give you very specific information. Unlike other lower cost or free platforms, it's just very broad and it really doesn't give you true trading experience. And so what that does is going to give you granular market data that allows even the most amateur investor, again, like you and I, a chance to invest in the stock market. And you could do this. And the reason why you want to do this is you could make really good money just by paying just moderate amounts of attention. Now, you can even do this pre-market, which I've been doing. I haven't put my money in yet. And I've been playing around with pre-market and after-hour trading. And unlike other platforms, Webull Financial offers real-time market quotes because they know market data is the key to making the right trading decisions. So listen, you're hearing me talk about this and you're not sure where to get started. It's really easy. You just go to Webull.com. That's Webull.com, or just open up the App Store right now and just search for Webull. That's one word, Webull in your favorite app store. Now, once you have the app loaded, go to Community and then select Competition. Now, Webull offers a weekly paper trading competition with awards up to $500. So you can learn how to invest, you can practice trading without risking your own money, which again, I think is really cool. I actually have my 2 boys. I have this app on there and I'm like, hey, just like start looking at news stories and then see what you find. Pay attention to the information that's in Webull itself and then play around and see who can make the most money. Again, just kind of gain some experience with this. This is one thing I learned reading Robert Kiyosaki and books like that is, when I've been, because I've been broke, I've been poor. And one thing I learned during that time is that wealthy parents teach their kids this stuff. Even if you don't have all the information, you give your kids access to this information, which I think is really cool. Now, when you make your first deposit of $100 or more, they're going to give you a free stock worth $4 to $1,000. If you recommend a friend and they open a brokerage account, both you and your friend are going to get a stock worth $300 to $300. Now, over the last week, I've been diving into their investment app. It's super easy to understand. Everything's well categorized. There's even a whole section for cryptocurrencies, which I've talked about before. Now, if you have a question, what's really cool, again, unlike other platforms, Webull offers live customer service that people will they'll step you through this stuff and they'll answer questions. And they even have a community section, as I mentioned earlier. Posting there, super easy as on any of it's like being on any social media platform, super, super easy. I love the user interface. Webull Financial has an entire learning center right at your fingertips as well. To learn more about Webull, you can join me in their trading competition. You just go to Webull.com or download their app in your favorite app store. That's, again, www.webull.com. And let's learn how the stock market works and see if we can't make some great money together. And that is part of living abundantly. All right, it's the beginning of a new month, and it's a perfect time to execute a pantry challenge. What's a pantry challenge, you ask? Well, a pantry challenge works like this. Once a month, you take a full week and devote it to using any close dated items. You don't buy new stuff. You use up what you got in the pantry. Now, this includes checking your pantry, your cupboards, your fridge, and freezer. You plan meals with these items, buying only ingredients you absolutely, positively, absolutely have to complete the meals. That make sense? Now, your family could be adventurous in trying new recipes to incorporate items, or you could try breakfast at dinner or dinner at breakfast. My kids love that. Now, perhaps choosing an eclectic approach to what makes a complete meal is all part of the challenge. And you can actually turn it into almost like a reality show where maybe you identify like 3 to 4 ingredients and then you get the kids involved and you're like, okay, let's open up our browsers. Let's search for a recipe where we can use these 3 ingredients, just like Iron Chef. Now, the best of all, what's really cool is that your shopping list is probably going to be super tiny that week. And again, what's the Savings Angel philosophy? It's very simple. You only buy the items that you can get really, really, really good deals on. That's number 1. Number 2, you stock up on those deals. You buy lots of those deals. But what I don't want you to do is have all this inventory sitting around and not getting used. If it's not getting used, it's not productive inventory. It's just stuff that you've spent less money on, but I want to make sure you use it. I especially want to make sure you use it before expiration dates. Listen, if you execute this well, this is part of being able to cut your grocery bill in half. And of course, don't forget to grab your coupons for even more savings when you do your new shopping. And you can always go to savingsangel.com, scroll through. Generally, pretty often, we've got a post that talks about all the new coupons that you could browse through, take them to your favorite retail store, and you can get lots of great savings. Now, if you've loved hearing everything in this podcast, please share this episode with a friend. People need this information. You and I together, we can change lives. We can help share this message of abundance. I recommend taking a screenshot, posting it on Facebook or wherever you hang out most. And as always, if you have any specific questions, if there's anything you'd like to hear me talk about, you could drop me a comment in the podcast feedback, write me on my Facebook group. You just search Savings Angel. You could join our new Instagram account. It's at instagram.com/Savings Angel. Thank you so much for all the likes and the comments, by the way. I got to say, that's a pretty engaged Instagram group right out of the bat. I love our Savings Angel community. I really, really do. Just amazing, just loving, giving, generous, caring people. And it is such an honor to be a part of this community. Now, you can also call our podcast hotline. It's at 407-205-9250, and you can leave me a message. And what I'll do is I'll actually answer you back. I'll answer your question. I'll write you back, or with your permission, I might even share your question or story with others on this show. Please, please, please do. I'm really serious. Contact me any of those ways. That is how we grow this community together. So with that, thank you so much. Have a wonderful week full of saving more, earning more, living more abundantly. And thank you so much for listening. Lots of great savings.